For 102 years, Brazil was a ghost in the winter world, a nation of 200 million people, famous for its sweltering heat, its infectious rhythm, and its supernatural ability to conquer any sport played on grass or sand. But when the world turned to ice, Brazil vanished. On the historical maps of the Winter Olympics, the southern hemisphere was a vast, silent void. While the ice titans of the north were carving their names into history, Brazil was relegated to the sidelines, a tropical powerhouse that the world assumed simply wasn't built for the cold. To the gatekeepers of the Alps and the Scandinavian peaks, a Brazilian skier wasn't a threat. They were a novelty. For decades, the sight of the green and gold on a ski slope was treated as a feel-good human interest story, a cool runnings moment that was fun for a headline but never a danger to the trophy cabinet. The winter sports elite looked at Brazil and saw a country of sunshine and football, convinced that the samba had no place in a world that demanded stoic silence and sub-zero precision. To them, Brazil's participation was an act of theater, not an act of war. Enter Lucas Braathen. He was the world's first perfect hybrid, a high-performance anomaly born to a Norwegian father and a Brazilian mother. This heritage meant he was forged in the elite labs of the north, yet fueled by a tropical heart from the south. He was perhaps the only person on Earth who truly understood both worlds, possessing the cold-blooded technical precision of his father's Viking roots and the rhythmic, improvisational spirit of his mother's soul. But as he climbed the world rankings, Lucas saw what no one else dared to admit. The system had a ceiling. As we saw in our last story, Norway wins through a clinical, high-performance machine that demands conformity. Lucas realized that to reach the next level of greatness, he couldn't just be another cog in that machine. He saw a gap in the armor of the elite. The Europeans had perfected the physics of the turn and the data of the snow, but they had forgotten that sport is still a human endeavor. They were robots of ice, and Lucas was ready to bring soul to a sport of steel. To break the system, Lucas turned to Ginga. It is the invisible thread that connects every great Brazilian achievement, from the legendary footwork of Pelé to the gravity-defying sweeps of capoeira. It is a fluid, unpredictable rhythm that thrives on improvisation. While the Viking machine follows a rigid script, Ginga rewrites it on the fly. It is the ability to find flow in the middle of chaos. In 2023, Lucas did the unthinkable. He walked away from the world's #1 team to find that flow. It was a move the traditionalists called professional suicide, but to Lucas, it was a resurrection. By choosing to represent his mother's homeland, he was trading a multi-million-dollar support structure for the freedom to be himself. He wasn't just switching flags, he was weaponizing his heritage. He was betting everything on the idea that his difference wasn't a distraction, it was his ultimate competitive advantage. As the Brazilian anthem played against the backdrop of the Italian Alps, the world saw a new reality. He showed millions of kids across the southern hemisphere that impossible is just a word used by people who are afraid to break the rules. As Lucas stood there with tears streaming down his face, he left us with a final truth. He didn't win despite his differences, he won because of them. His rhythm was his timing. His flair was his edge. In a world that wants you to blend in, Lucas Braathen proved that your difference isn't a distraction. It's your superpower. If you're ready to stop following the script and start creating the chaos, join the movement. Like, subscribe, and welcome to the Entropy Overload.